What's fucking good? How we all doing, people? It's always nice to have a few messages before I get in here. I appreciate it, lads and lasses. I'm doing pretty good, except I have a skunk running around our property. How are you going to deal with that situation? What's going on, crossover? Really loved your video, man. I've got what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a link at some point and pin that to the stream. Hang on. I'm going to do that immediately, in fact. It's really great. It's really great to see you up and running. I've got my YouTube channel. Let me just turn that down. What's going on, crossover? Hang on a second. Let me grab this now and chuck it right in and pin it. Let's get that off and running straight away. How are we all doing today, people? 22 long rifle one. Oh, I forgot you're in America. See, it's a whole different problem when that happens in the UK. That's a whole different problem. Crystal, if you could subscribe to Crossover MMA, that would be fucking sweet. Really appreciate that. He's a long-standing member of the team, and he's got his own YouTube channel going. So it sounds like a fun experience, if anything. If you're not like a skunk, little Spencer's little brother, I'll take it. It's not that bad. I think you mentioned it on a stream before, and I pulled him up, and I wasn't that disappointed. I could definitely do worse. I'm not sure about the young Festa though. I'm not really sure what he looks like. I'm assuming it's not good. So I'll save myself the agony. How you doing, Shotty? Good to have you here, brother. And I'm still kind of reading from yesterday's events. Fucking hell, what a wild day that was. Sunday's turning into Super Sunday every week, it feels like. You don't sound sick tonight. No, I'm feeling a lot better. I've still got a little bit of a scratchy throat, but it's like this. It's this being old thing, man. It takes ages to recover. How you doing, Paradox? How you doing, Westy? Good to see you here, boys. How we all fucking doing tonight? Happy Sunday to everyone. Hope you're all well. Interested to see what we're going to be talking about tonight, because I've got no fucking idea. I never have any idea. Hopefully it won't be about me looking like young fucking Festa. Oh, that burned. That burned because it's probably true. I don't think I can look it up. How were you doing? No, Paradox, were you on? I didn't realize you were streaming tonight. I should have seen by now. You usually do the shift just before me, so doing dapper, sweet brother. Sweet brother. How's everyone doing on this fine Monday? Good start to the week. What, Joe Rogan has quit? Nah, he's just not doing 304. I don't know if he was originally slated to do it, or if they just decided to, obviously because Bisping's from the UK, it makes sense that he goes on, but I don't know what the situation is. But the fact that they're saying it's so late, I'm assuming that he was scheduled to be on the card, and then maybe it was a last minute replacement. I'm not sure. Maybe he didn't make weight. The fucking turkey looking motherfucker. By the way, if you guys are just coming in now, could you please subscribe to Crossover MMA? I'd really appreciate that. Very big part of the team, and I want to see his channel get off to the right start. He did a great prediction video today. We are going to talk about detailed predictions. I was thinking we might do them tomorrow or Wednesday, because I'm going to do a joint stream with Jax, and we can talk about some of the fights, but I don't want to go into too much detail. If there's some fights you specifically want to talk about, I'm happy to get into it. But yeah, we're definitely going to go into full detail of it on Wednesday. And I'm going to be doing a live watch along from the event with Making the Walk on Saturday, where I'm literally going to be there, and hopefully people will be able to hear me. But I'm looking forward to trying that shit out as well. I've been on for 2.5 hours doing the pre-match stream. I went 25-0. Shit, man, that's fucking. You're actually very decent at that game. I think I've pinned crossover MMA in the. I think I've pinned crossover in, but thanks for posting it in. Is Aspinall doomed to become the next Darren Till? Nah, it's never going to get that bad. It's never going to get that bad. But I am concerned. I am concerned. I'm concerned about the main event and the co-main event, to be honest. I obviously think the Brits are going to get it done, but no, Aspinall's definitely not going to be relegated to that shit. Darren Till, it was never good. And I think he overachieved for what he was. I have a feeling Arnold Allen doesn't go for takedowns and might be in danger of losing. There is a danger of that, but Giga Chikadze is not that good. He's very one note. He's basically got like a good kicking game, and that's about it. That's basically all he's got. So I'm reasonably confident that Arnold's going to get it done. I'm pretty sure. Like he's got very handy boxing, and if he does get in any trouble, I think he will go for the takedowns. And because it's only a 3-rounder, and we've seen that the Arnold is obviously a bit more suitable to go for 5. I think he's going to be fine. I think Giga Chikadze's fucking overrated, and that whole Giga kick thing, I just think is so cheesy. Like you didn't invent that shit. You can't name something after yourself if it's it's been out there for ages. How you doing, Aaron, brother? Good to see you here. Aspinall should destroy Blades. I'm thinking my thoughts on that fight is Aspinall needs to get it done in the first 7.5 minutes. And if he doesn't, I'm going to start to get a little bit more worried. That's my general concern about this whole thing. Giga's inconsistent, which has me worried. Why are you going for Giga? I thought you were a pure-blooded Brit, mate. So where's all that talk coming from? But yeah, I kind of agree with you, Captain. I think Aspinall should get it done. I'm reasonably confident he's going to get it done. He's obviously had a full camp. He's known about the fight for a long time. He's injury free, got the back surgery and everything done. I'm reasonably confident. I think he's gonna do the job. I believe Arnold Allen will hit the grapple. Probably, yeah. Arnold Allen has to stay at boxing range. You can't let Giga stay comfortable at kicking range. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. I don't think Giga's very good. I never thought he was good. And like I said, getting fucking slapped around by a Calvin Cater is not a good look, not at this stage. If Leon and Aspinall and England use the heroes all in the same 2 weeks, I'm just going to throw myself in the Thames. I'll be right along there with you, bro. Or whatever river they have in Manchester. I'm not even going to wait to get back down to London. I'm just going to chuck myself in the nearest Mancunian river that I can find. I'm genuinely worried. Damn, Young Fester is tough, but it don't beat Elliot Page. Can't get worse, bro. Yeah, I don't know what Mexican food trucks problem is with me. He seems to think I like fucking midgets, Chris. I wonder where he got that idea from, Chris. I'm telling you, at no stage during that stream did I say I'd fuck a midget. If I did, I'd own it. Like if I was into midgets, I'd gladly own that shit. You know me, boys. I don't give a fuck. But I never stated that once. I did joke about having a tiny cock. He's got me there. But it was a joke. You know. I'd ask him to get off my dick, but it wouldn't be that hard. He'd kind of just slip off. See, that's where we go. No, I mean, inconsistent as maybe he raises to the occasion this time. Oh, yeah, fair play. I don't think he will. He's kind of come up short whenever he fights somebody who's genuinely good. And I think Arnold Allen has way more to his game than Calvin Cater did. I know it's applying bad MMA math again. I think he's going to be all right. I'd be very interested in seeing Aspinall go long, to be honest. I want to see him put a clinic on in there. The worrying thing for me is I was having a look at his record today when I was going to do because Jax and I were going to do like a full fight card breakdown and then post it just as a video, but we decided not to do it. We're just going to do it live on Wednesday. And looking over Aspinall's record, he's had 3 fights that have gone past the second round and he's lost 2 of them. One of them was a DQ, granted, but yeah, I'm concerned. I think if it goes the full 5, I mean, he does train really hard, but it's very different when you're adrenaline dumping on there. My bad. I'm just joking, Chris. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If I get associated as being a midget fucker, it is what it is. Thoughts on Carlsberg? It's the best lager in the world, mate. Not. I'm not a big Carlsberg guy. To be fair, it's not really my jam. I'm not really a big beer drinker. I only really drink beer when I'm out. Why is Makayev cap on the early prelims now? I actually think it's a smart choice because they've obviously got they've elevated um Duncan and RoboCop, which I think has way more chances of being fireworks. But also there's a strong chance that Manel Cap might not make weight and the fight might get cut. And with his history, like having him advertised on the main cards, posters and stuff probably isn't the best idea. So I can understand why they're doing it. And also it's a really nice fight to have as the closer of the prelims that people will get for free on ESPN. And Mohammed Makayev's fucking boring as well. So I think those are several reasons why it might go down that way. Everyone sleeps on Blades. He's well-rounded and huge. I've been saying this for a while. I think Aspinall's going to have a harder time than people are expecting. That's what I expect. Yeah, Guinness is a different thing. I can drink Guinness anytime. I could easily see Blades coming through later on and being champ like Oliveira did. I wouldn't be surprised. Blades is really good. Any 1K celebration plan. We've talked about this a little while. I think I'm a long way away from talking about 1K. It'll probably be by the end of the year if I get there at all. But I'm going to leave it down to the chat. I'm thinking I might do some kind of like forfeit or some kind of celebration thing. I know Dougie did the shoey. Maybe I could do some equivalent shit. Like Westy suggested that I slap a pie in my face, and yeah, I think you're missing out on an opportunity here to really humiliate me. So we'll see. Yeah, don't badmouth Guinness, man. Guinness is the fucking shit. Apparently, you guys need to check out the comedian Brad Williams if you're worried about midgets. Yeah, you mentioned him before. He's actually pretty funny, that dude. Heard you were going to go out drinking with Joe Pfeiffer's dad. I don't like Joe Pfeiffer. I imagine that wouldn't go very well for me. Because once I've had a few, I can't help flapping my gums. A score paradox. Nah, that was a post and out. If I'm being real. Do a pooey and take a shit in the shoe. God damn, little man. You're gonna be that kind of contributor, are you? I'm not gonna be doing that. My shoes are far too expensive, and I'm not True Geordie. So I'm not really very big on like humiliation rituals. Like I've had loads of people telling me to whip my shirt off yesterday, and I told you I'm not gonna do that ever again. Makayev Cap is the fourth fight now, not even featured fight on the early prelims. Weird. I don't know if that's the right order. I think Cap and Makayev, from what I've heard, is going to be literally the fight before the main card. It's almost like the prelim main event, which kind of makes sense. But if it's been moved, I'm not that surprised. I don't think they trust Manel Cap to make weight. And I genuinely think if he doesn't, that Makayev is going to pull out of the fight. How you doing, Skate Tank? How you doing, brother? Good to see you here. The pie in the face is for whoever has the worst picks between you and Jax. So it's gone from like a 1K forfeit to just being like a thing I do regularly on stream. I don't know. I say get your car cables and put them on your nipples and go full blast for 1,000. Why does it have to be like torture or like humiliation? I mean, I kind of get it. Fair enough. I thought Dougie got off really light with the shoey, man. And he almost refused to do it for quite a long time. That we really had to like peer pressure him for ages to get him to do that. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm definitely open to suggestions. I'll do like a typical, like I said, democracy type thing where I'll lay out all the options and I'll hand pick them and then get you to choose. Like a real democracy works. You know. Bad math, you look completely different. What's up, brother? How you doing, Steven Jackson? Different how? Different how? I'm never sure if I should lead with anything like that because it could be a very bad thing. Different how? I'm very curious. I'm gonna wish that I didn't ask, aren't I? Ian submits to Shavkhat just like he does to his wife every single day. Well, he does have experience. He does have experience in submission, and or being in a submissive situation. So it could go the other way. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare as well. Hot sauce with booze in the shoey. I'm somebody who doesn't even like hot sauce in my goddamn on my food. So that would be just yeah, that's a tie to Ivasa flashback right there. I don't think I could hack that. So I'm gonna have to say probably no. But I'll take it under consideration. It might end up being one of those the best of all the suggestions we've got. We will not let Dougie off lightly for 2,000 subs. Yeah, we need to get working on that one because he literally bitched out on that one 100%. I love you, Dougie, if you're here. But doing a shoe is like a regular thing in Australia. It was like I assume they do one during breakfast every day. But mind you, that shoe did look pretty dank, so I can understand why he was resistant. I thought you were American. I guess you guys are all UK. Yeah, there's a few of us popping up now, which was pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. We've got a few guys who are doing their thing in the UK now. It's nice to be able to represent a little bit for there's a few of us. There's Brutally, there's Musical, there's obviously Guru's the top dog. But no, it's nice to be able to represent for this region. I think most people assume I'm American, and then they turn up and see this pasty fuck, and they're like, I don't even have to start speaking before they know what the deal is. So sorry if that disappointed you, bro. I'm desperately sorry. Frankie, will you still be in the UK in 4 or 5 years? Well, I've like I said, I've got my house here, but I'm not sure. If you're asking me to stick around for when you turn up, I will take it into consideration because I did promise to take, to show you a good time around here. So if I'm not here, I can promise you I'll turn up because like my immediate family's here. So I'll definitely turn up if you end up back here. Being a fan in the UK for years, nobody knew what the fuck Emmett, and that's exactly that, bro. That's exactly why I started this channel. Because honestly, in my normal regular life, I don't know anyone who is a hardcore MMA fan. I've spoken about this many times. They think it's just men rolling around in their underwear, touching each other's butts. Which, to be fair, whenever I've tried to show them this, and I've said this many times, it's always what happens. Even in cards that I think are going to be absolute bangers, it always ends up happening. Super Shotgun, are you from Manchester? I don't know about that one. I remember you're going into some William Hill. I remember going into some William Hill back in 2011 and asking if they take bets on the UFC, and the geezer was like, "What the fuck is it, bro?" That's exactly what we used to have to deal with. I still think the UFC is genuinely like not well respected here. It still isn't mainstream whatsoever. Gets no respect. Nah, man, it's cool. You got an American bud now. If you're ever across the pond, I'll show you how we do it here. I know several gyms. Fuck yeah, man. That sounds like a fucking sweet idea. I'm definitely down for that. It's because we don't have any wrestling in school. No, we don't. We don't. It's mostly. I mean, we don't have a lot of combat sports as like staples here. It's very hard to even find good MMA gyms here. They're popping up. They are around now. Like I've even got an MMA gym that turned up not too far from me, and like I live in a very small town now, so we're getting there. We need to go to the pub and a footy game. No, we're definitely going to do that. 100%. It's already locked in. Hardcore MMA fans are few and far between. 100%. It's very, very difficult to find, especially here, man. I imagine it's not that easy in America as well, because I find that you guys say the same thing. It's the same reason why you're on here. Can we have a poll, please? Are you in USA, Britain, or other? What do you mean a poll for that? We know where I am. I've pretty much doxed myself several times on here. Or did you phrase the question incorrectly? I'm happy to do a poll, Westy, if it makes fucking sense, mate. I'm in the UK, cunt. This isn't like an opinion. It's a fucking fact. Depends on what your definition of hardcore is. I think a hardcore would be somebody who at least watches MMA once a week and knows what they're talking about, like understands some of the law, and also isn't just watching cards every week, but is involved in keeping up with the news, getting involved with the community to some extent. I'd consider that a hardcore. MMA fandom is a lonely undertaking in real life. That's why YouTube MMA is blown up. Yeah, that's fully it. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have any chance of getting people to interact with us here if that wasn't the case. So I'm kind of grateful for it in a way. So like, I'm not complaining. It's much better to do it here because you can literally have conversations with multiple people here as we're doing now and enjoy the sport for what it is. Like, even though I know like a lot of boxing fans, we don't really talk about it much unless something major comes up. How is it having Guru in chat, bro? Honestly, honestly, bro, I kind of shit myself. I'm being honest. It was at first, yeah, when he popped in, I was like, that can't be the MMA Guru. And I literally just like, I assumed somebody was trolling me because that's usually the first thing people do on here. But then everyone in the chat was saying, no, it's him. And then I literally just froze. Like, absolutely packed my pants, mate. But honestly, it was great. It was I don't know how to describe what it's like having him in here. Obviously, it's really great that the dude took time to come in and check out a tiny fucking channel like mine. It's obviously amazing. I know that it's something that he does from time to time, but to have it happen to me, it was fucking amazing. And what people don't know is I went into his chat later on in the evening, so I was like, "There's no way." I know people were telling me it was him, but I sent him a super chat and said to him like, "Oh, were you in my chat, or was I like tripping out or something?" He was in the chat yesterday, and basically like he said to me, "Nah, bro, I've no idea who the fuck you are." And then like he paused for a second and moved on, and then he went like, "Of course I was in the chat." My heart literally sank. I took a video of it as well, or I took a clip of it, and yeah, he was like, "Yeah, man, I was in the chat," and then he went, Frankie, I know who the fuck you are," and I was just like, "Yeah, it was." He fucking handled the whole situation perfectly because it was like it went from like, "Oh man, I got fucking someone tricked me," to being like, "Damn, like, oh." So he did pop in. I don't think he's really watched any of the videos or anything like that, but yeah, having him stop by was. I think it's the first time I've genuinely froze on a stream and just been like, "Shit, what do I say?" And then the thing is, yeah, there were two raids going on at the same time, so I had 30 people suddenly flood into the chat. So I'm still at the stage where that freaks me out. Like I've not come far from having 5, 6, 7 people in here. And then when loads of people were flooding in and then everyone's saying it's really him, I fucking shit myself. I shit and piss myself at the same time. But in a good way if that's possible. But yeah. Hey yo, Frankie, do you claim not to be a Brit or Irish? Yeah, I'm not, I'm kind of to be honest, I'm kind of both. Like I consider myself Irish. How you doing, Torrin? Good to see you here, brother. Uh I consider myself Irish, but obviously I sound like a little fucking fag. So I guess I have to accept what it is. You know, I'm not going to shy away from that. I have very British values and like I grew up here. But yeah, there's a lot of MMA fans who watch the big names, Connor Jones, Izzy, and nothing else. Then a whole lot of other who watch Dan Ige. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think if you know people beyond the obvious main street names, that you consider them like hardcores as well. I was nervous. I was very, very nervous. It suddenly hit me. I was like, God damn, like, what's like, because like I said, I first of all dismissed it. But then when people were going, no, 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 it's really, really him. And people that don't fuck me around, like when Jack said it, when Westy was saying it, I was like, no, Weston sometimes fucks with me. I was like, maybe Weston's fucking with me. And then Brutally was saying it, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then when Jack said it, when Jack said, wow, I just froze. I just fucking froze. It was embarrassing. Guru sees all, 100%. Yeah. It's weird. Guru can be a celebrity in today's world, and people get starstruck. I genuinely did a little bit, to be honest. I was. Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry, Westy. I got you now. I thought you were saying where I'm from or where I am. I totally misunderstood that question in my usual retarded way. Okay, where are you? Where are you from? Or where are you now is probably the better question, because if we say where are you from, that's going to get fucking complicated. We'll say UK, US, and we'll say elsewhere, just to put that in a nice little title. Sorry about that, Westy. I fucking confused that very badly. But it would be interesting to know that. Yeah. Maybe that was really cool of him. Like it kind of like I don't always agree with everything that Guru says, but obviously I have maximum respect for the guy, and I don't let him get away with stuff. So, and I haven't done on my channel if I feel like he stated an opinion, but I don't agree with. But that's perfectly normal. You can like somebody a lot and have a lot of respect for them, and not agree with everything they say, or be willing to glaze over everything they say just because you're a fan of what they do. Um, so yeah, uh, you deserve the recognition, man. I don't know about that. I've been very new, and I'm very new in the game. As I said, I don't consider myself to be. Why is Uganda not an option? It's a fair point. I'd love it if we had some Ugandans up in here. It'd be great. America. Yeah, I was blown away. Like I literally was kind of buzzing. I was literally buzzing from it the whole day. I've kind of calmed down now, and if it happens again, hopefully I'll be prepared. But no, it was really cool. It was really cool. Pose up, Westy. Pose up, Westy. We got you. I've seen today that Jones and Stipe and Alex versus Magomedov are in the works for them. I think that's I think that's where reason has prevailed. But at the same time, that might be them setting up the Alex Pereira and Jones fight if they both get wins that night, which would be fucking terrible. I think giving Jones any out to dodge Tom Aspinall is disgusting. But like he might, I mean, Tom Aspinall might lose on the weekend, and then those pairing those two up would make a lot more sense. So we'll see. Like we'll see. I think that would make a hell of a card. And I do think, as much as I've been taking the piss out of Ankalaev and saying that he shouldn't get the fight, Alex does kind of need to get it out of the way. I still don't think that Ankalaev has earned it, but there's very few. There's very few left. Stop spamming. Take your shirt off, guys. How you doing? No Chill MMA. Another reminder to people as well. No Chill. No Chill MMA is a great channel as well. Um, Very similar fucking no holds barred branding to what I've got going on in here. So give No Chill MMA some love and subscribe to his channel because he's a fucking top dude. And he's the youngest looking old man I've ever seen in my life. I thought I was doing pretty well, but that guy's taken anti-aging to another level. Dude, meeting famous people will catch you off guard. You got to prepare. You freeze up. I've bumped into famous people before, or people that I've considered, like. And usually I don't even give a fuck. Like I won't even go and talk to them because I don't like being that guy. Like if I see somebody or bump into somebody famous, I'm the last person to go over to people and be like, "Oh hey man, I'm a fan," and I find that shit cringy. But I genuinely froze up. I'm not even. I mean, you can go back and look at yesterday's stream and you just see it. You see the moment when it suddenly hits me, and I'm like, shit. And it, like I said, it didn't help that loads of people were flooding in at that time as well. Oh, you did the leg kick. I'm not going to ask for any spoilers. I definitely can't wait to see it. But you're at home. I'm assuming you're not messaging from a hospital wing. But I'm picking Razor Blades to beat Tom. It's not. I don't blame you for taking that pick. It's a tough fight. Curtis Blades versus Stipe is the fight to make. It fucking isn't, bro. I will break things if John somehow gets his way. Yep, I'm in the same boat as you do. I think John Jones is going to change his retirement plans if Tom Aspinall somehow loses this weekend. Call me fucking cynical. I guarantee you he flips it around. I agree. Blade Stipe is good. Tom will smoke beta blades and John will be ducking and dodging. That's the world that I want to live in. That's the version of the world that I want to live in. Well, I'm a bit nervous. I'm definitely not writing him off. I'm definitely not writing off Blades Torrent. I think he's a genuine threat. He might be Tom's most difficult fight at heavyweight. I just think stylistically it's a tough one. And he looked good in that 15 seconds that they were facing off, I'm gonna get an MMA channel and y'all can sub. Well, Steven Jackson, you're in the right place, bro. Because I'm very, very big on letting people spread their wings in here, I'm a big advocate for that. I like people to be able to if they've got a channel going or they want some I'm glad to be in a position where I get enough people in here now where People can flog their wares. I'm more than happy for that. Frankie, read my last message above. Hang on a sec. Sorry, bro. How far up is it? Shit. Oh, shit. Damn, I have to go all the way up. You at first, because both from London. Yeah, that's probably what the reason is. I was probably just within his demographic. Like, I mean, he pretty much admitted that he heard the British voice and was like, I'll give this guy a try. And I think it was just that simple. Aspinall knocks Jones out, encountering him on the street. I think looking at the two of them face off, it definitely looked like Tom was way bigger. You very rarely see Jones look small, especially as a tubby heavyweight, and he looked tiny. I'm cynical. Yeah, I am a bit. It was when people said to me, which fighters do you like? Like, because I talk about fighters that I hate all the time. And when someone asked me on stream, what fighters do you like? I was literally like, I took a pause for a second. There are a lot of fighters that I like, but it took me a little while to think about it. Blades fights stupid though. He's very susceptible to that uppercut up the middle. Because he tends to dip his head in at the wrong moment. And Tom does have a nice, filthy uppercut. But I don't know if, I think he's obviously learned from it, and he definitely has got better. Frankie is moist cynical. Yeah, that's fine. I'm all right with that. I don't mind that association. I'm out, brother. This will be fun. I'll definitely be back. Thanks very much for turning up, Steven. It's really good to have you here, bro. Nobody's right. Well, some people are writing off Blades. Rigo is a petty Aspinall hater. Rigo is a lot of things. I feel like we can't help getting into Rigo stuff whenever we go live here. Yeah, he ain't got a fucking chance. If Curtis beats Tom, he will be interim champ and should be the next up. Yet Jones' minions will act like Jones. And the problem, I was saying this in ITP's chat as well. If Tom doesn't win convincingly, John Jones fans are going to say the same shit. They're literally going to be like, "Oh well, look, he couldn't even bat at Blades, and look what Ngannou and Lewis did to Blades." They will make that argument, and John Jones will run with it as well. He'll probably come out and say, I wasn't impressed with your performance, blah, blah, blah. He wants the Alex Pereira fight. Because he knows he'll easily just drag him down to the mat and fuck him in the ass. So he gets two it's two carrots in one evening. He gets to beat up somebody who's very slowly entering the GOAT conversation, and he gets a little bit of booty for the night. So hey, at least you're objective. I try to be. I'm not really objective. I'm quite biased, but we all are. We all have our favorites. I will in his chat when you donated it. It was pretty funny. You got a cheeky shout out also. He said he knew your name from seeing someone say, yeah, he did say that. He mentioned that, because I was literally like, Frankie, he knows my name. And literally when you look above the chat, it said Frankie, Frankie, Frankie about 9 times. That's how fucking thrown off I was though. I just, is Aspinall the next Darren Till? He's not, little man. He's not. Darren Till is shit. He basically got like a rocket to the moon for beating a welterweight Donald Cerrone, which is not much of an achievement. He was never that good. John's already done that one on Twitter. Of course he has. John Jones is going to get exactly what he wants. He's never fighting Tom Aspinall. That fight is never going to happen under any circumstances. If I was Tom Aspinall, what I would do is I would beat up Curtis Blades, obviously, this weekend. And then I would try to campaign to have Alex Pereira on the same card as John Jones, so that he has no choice but to fight the winner or retire. And I guarantee you the bitch would retire all day long. Yep, Shotty exactly just said exactly what I just said. If Aspinall doesn't unintentionally murder Curtis Blades, Jones fans are going to be talking shit. That's exactly the issue. Who donated? In what? I can see Blades scoring takedowns. I don't see him. The thing is, though, what's kind of made me unconvinced about Blades was seeing the way he got ragdolled so easily by Jayton Almeida. Makes me think that Tom's going to be able to do the same shit to him. I think he's just going to be able to toss him around like a rag doll, to be honest. But I'm I think I'm more worried because I know that Tom losing is going to fuck up this whole Jones thing, and it's going to give Jones another way out. I like Curtis Blades, and it's not even that I necessarily would care. If you isolated that fight by itself, I wouldn't care if Curtis Blades won because I think he's very likable. But it just lets John Jones off the hook again. And I don't think I could take that. Poor Aspinall's ACL. Yeah, I think he's fine now. I hope John Jones ends his career astral traveling face down in the. We made a video about this at the beginning of the year, and we made a video entitled "Fighter We Want to See Knocked Out Most This Year," and I picked John Jones, and I stand by that. I would love it if it turned out to be Stipe, because he thinks Stipe is a nice, comfortable, cushy layup to end his career on. So if Stipe ended up being the one to do it, that would be beautiful. That would literally knock him off the GOAT conversation immediately, which would be hilarious. The great Matt Hamill gave a young John Jones a chance, and although Hamill destroyed John, at least he gave him a shot at greatness. John's need to return. Yeah, he does. He does. He does. Having that as the only loss on his record is objectively hilarious. We'll send a pic of my first time making fish and chips to the Discord for the UK fights. Sure. Why the fuck not? I feel like Tom Aspinall will lose by knee injury. Don't put that out there, bro. That is literally a nightmare. Jones can retire from existence. Well, say how you feel, bro. You don't want him to just lose. You want him to die and to actually disappear. So fair play. I mean, that's about as deep as it gets. Aspinall versus 37-year-old Brunson was one of the saddest fights I've ever seen. Brunson? Am I misreading that? Hello from elsewhere, though. How you doing, Drunken Boxing? Welcome from elsewhere. And if you are from elsewhere, maybe state where you're from. I'm very curious to see, because obviously I couldn't put everywhere on the fucking world map down. And this wasn't my idea, by the way. Yeah, he can't keep getting away with this. John Jones needs to get punished for everything he's done. Oh, Till versus 37-year-old. For some reason, I read that as Aspinall. I don't know why. Yeah, that was shocking. That was shocking. I completely forgot that he fought Brunson. I don't think Jones is afraid of Tom whatsoever. I think he definitely is. I think he definitely is. You forget, yeah, John Jones is very strategic about who he fights and when he fights and what condition he fights in. John Jones is an amazing fighter. He's one of the best of all time. But to act like he isn't strategic in the way that he refused to fight Chael Sonnen, who he could beat up on any day. He's very, very careful. Yeah, Bumpson did choke Till out. That was one of the. I called it though. Stipe's going to get hurt. He's going to get badly hurt. Being Irish, are you a Catholic man? I was raised as a Catholic, but I'm not like a practicing Catholic. I'm kind of an agnostic, and that doesn't mean that I'm atheist. It means that I'm just kind of. I treat religion like a pick and mix. I take what I feel like taking, and I ignore the rest. Let Mario Yamasaki be the ref for Jones versus Aspinall. That's a very good suggestion. Jones is a savvy matchmaker, 100%. Oh, you're Australian, mate. Sweet. I'm pretty sure I've seen you around before, mate. I might have seen you in Dougie's stream a bunch of times, which adds up completely. But welcome to you, my Australian brother. Appreciate having you here. Do you think Vanderoba's snatch is full of fuzz and buggies? She definitely doesn't trim. I would assume that. I'd assume it's just she doesn't have any reason to. She's got nobody fucking around down there. Like since Gilbert Burns tapped her and they made Chiwiwis, I don't think her snatch has been touched since then, to be honest. Connor is the same. He cherry picks his opponents too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not saying Jones is the only one who does it. There are a lot of fighters who do it and get away with it. It tends to be when you get yeah. And I was talking about Dougie's Corner, the Australian our Australian guy who does the morning shift around here. I just assume because you're Australian that you might have seen me in his chat and maybe subscribed there, but obviously I fucked that one up. Gelson Almeida is top 3 backpack fighters of all time. Nah, he's not top 3. He wants to be top 3, but he's not. There are some people who have backpacked worse than him. There are people in other organizations who backpack way better than he does. But he's pretty decent at it, to be fair. Who else did Connor cherry pick outside of Cowboy? Well, he definitely cherry picked Eddie Alvarez. I know that he had the belt at the time, but it was kind of convenient that he ducked RDA or avoided fighting RDA, and then was very happy to go up when the best stylistic matchup came for him. He handpicked Poirier because he thought he'd beat him before and that he could beat him again. Dennis Siver probably. I mean, Dennis Siver was probably a UFC thing. I don't think Conor was in a position where he could cherry pick at that point in time. But Dennis Siver was a weird one. I think the UFC gave Conor Dennis Siver because they knew he'd beat the fuck out of him and wanted to give him wanted to give him the quickest route to the belt, I guess, because they could see they had a star in their hands. So I blame the UFC more for that one. I haven't seen Dougie's Corner. Dougie's Corner is awesome. No, but I mean, he was very much hesitant to. He was very much hesitant to take the rematch. I'll put it that way. And I don't know. It was maybe I'm misremembering the whole RDA situation, but he definitely looked more keen to fight Eddie. Eddie's probably a bit of an unfair one because, of course, he was going to take that fight. It was tailor made for him, and he went on to prove that. Conor didn't want any parts of Prime Ferguson or Gaethje. I think him and Ferguson were under the same management team, so there was part of it for that. But there was no incentive for him to fight Ferguson at the time. And I mean, to be fair, Conor did fight Khabib when it was a very, very horrible matchup for him, and he knew it himself. He tried to avoid that fight for as long as possible as well, but at least he took it. At least he went in there. Conor would have given Tony brain damage. I think Tony's had enough brain damage. Why is confessing Jesus as my Lord and Savior banned? I'm going to be real with you, Mountain. I checked I saw the email had been banned this morning, and I didn't ban him. So I don't know what's going on in my chat. I'm assuming one of the mods has gone a little bit crazy because I've never banned anyone. I saw email was banned this morning and unbanned him, and there were a couple of other people that were also banned that I'd never heard of. So I was literally like, I'm assuming that when the mods do ban people, they're doing it for good reasons, and I'm hoping that's the case. I'll put it that way. Yeah, you're probably right, Captain. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Yeah, Melson got banned. Yeah, I unbanned him this morning. It's weird because Melson was in here yesterday, and then I'm not saying you did, Westy. I've got no idea who did it. I got no idea who did it, but I don't mind Melson being in here as long as he's not taking a complete piss. And I still wouldn't ban him for just saying a few out of pocket things. I'm not really too. Like I said, I don't really like banning people in here. I don't think it's nice. But when I checked in this morning, there were 10 people banned that I'd never even heard of. So I was like, whoa, what's going on? It could be YouTube censoring. That's another good point. It could be that. But the thing is, Melson was here yesterday, and he didn't say how you doing, Melson. Speak of the devil, he didn't say you didn't say anything out of pocket yesterday whatsoever, from as far as I know, unless you maybe said you threw a couple of N words in there, and YouTube took that into their own. Define out of pocket. I would say doxing and noncing are two things I would consider out of pocket. Those are pretty much the only things I consider off limits here. Revealing people's identities and, like I said, diddling is the way that I would put it for those people who don't know what noncing is. So those are the two things really. They're the only two things that can get you banned around here. I fear God alone. Prime versus Prime, Ferguson versus Conor. Ferguson would have taken him into deep waters, I reckon, because Ferguson had such a good chin back then. I can imagine Conor dominating the early part of that fight, beating the shit out of him for the first 2 rounds, and then just out cardioing him. Because I don't know if Conor would have been able to finish that version of Ferguson, period, let alone in an entire fight. Someone said the word butt in my chat and got auto-banned. Yeah, that's bizarre. I don't think that happened. Is paradoxing allowed? That's slightly different. Like I said, it's very hard to piss me off. Like I'm not I'm generally quite a chill person. It's hard to get under my skin, and people have definitely tried. But nah, I don't really like I said. It could. You're right, man. It could be just a YouTube thing. But I've kind of set it to that nobody gets banned for like using foul language or anything like that. I'm not really. I don't. Really, I'm not sensitive. I don't mind. Paradoxing is in the pocket, not out of pocket. Depends on your perspective. I think Ferguson would have made Conor bleed. It would have been a very tough fight for Conor. It would have been a fight of two halves. It would have been very reminiscent to like the Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz wars that we got. I think with Conor dominating the first part of the fight, and then Ferguson taking over. That's how I saw that one. But I don't mind people having a different perspective. No world where Ferguson, who was getting dropped literally by everyone, beats Conor. I mean, it depends. It depends. I mean, it depends on how long Conor could keep up, because we know that Conor fades. Conor was known for having bad cardio, and Ferguson was getting dropped, but he wasn't getting finished by anybody. Wasn't Gaethje the first person to finish him on the feet? I haven't watched Long Legs yet. I am going to give it. I'm not really a big horror movie guy, but I've heard it's more of a psychological horror, so I'm gonna give it a go because I've heard really good things. Shout out Vietnam. Why not? Shout out Vietnam. Prime Connor got embarrassed by Nate Diaz. 2016 Tony would have fucking butchered him. I can't argue with that. It's definitely would have been an interesting fight. I would have sided with Ferguson personally, but just because I know that Connor's got no cardio outside of 2 rounds, and Prime Ferguson was impossible to stop. He had no brain. He had no brain cells to destroy. That's a really big advantage. Prime Tony or Prime Oliveira? Probably go with Prime Oliveira. Prime Oliveira, when he went on that title run before he obviously got ripped apart by Makachev easily, was a different animal. He was a different beast. I would have gone Prime Oliveira. But again, it's debatable. Ayo, Paradox is in Philip. What? Ferguson can't take down anyone. Terrible striking. Dropped in many fights during his prime, and Ferguson is way smaller than Diaz. Yeah, but Ferguson was also a maniac. He was very diverse in his striking and had insane cardio and just didn't give up. So Tony was 36 when he lost to Gaethje. Fair point as well. And Ferguson had been battered for years before it reached that point. He just got broken down. If Lando Venata is putting you down, Conor is putting you out. That was a short notice fight though, and we all seen how that can go. He didn't get finished though. I'm not even. I reckon Tony would have got dropped in the first 2 rounds multiple times, very similar to the way that the Diaz fight went. But I think that, like I said, I think Ferguson would have dragged him into deep wars. But again, it's just kind of how I feel about it, and you can see by how split the chat is that it is something that would be very, very divisive. Do you think Ferguson would have had to take Conor down, or do you think Ferguson could have did good standing with Conor? It's hard to say. Again, I'm talking about a fight of two halves here. I think Conor would have pieced him up at the beginning, certainly for the first 2 rounds. But then, if you got past that, I don't know. Shoot Box Academy Muay Thai drives me crazy. Yeah, those guys are goated, man. The minute Boogie shows up in chat, he's gone. Eh. So was Conor versus Diaz, and Conor had a staffing faction. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of. I at least think it's fair to say that that the Ferguson and Conor fight would have been intriguing. I think it's fair to say that. I want to see Khabib box Jake Paul. That would be horrendous. I think Masvidal would beat the shit out of McGregor. I think the Masvidal that we saw that went on that little run potentially, and I would think that would very much depend on the weight class. I think Masvidal would have got fucked up at lightweight, but I also think Masvidal would have beat him up at welterweight. So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Just saying, Ferguson can't stand with Conor. Conor was stuffing Khabib's takedowns and outlasting Nate Diaz in a fat. Yeah, again, that's a fair point to make, Captain. I'm not saying that your take is ridiculous. I'm just saying that I don't trust Conor's cardio at all. And Ferguson was a maniac with a hell of a chin. And when Ferguson was at his prime, he was very, very diverse and he had good jiu-jitsu when he had a little bit more tea in his system. So I don't know. Conor got taken down by Khabib in 1 minute and drained in the first round. He did. I mean, I remember watching that fight live and literally thinking instantly, yeah, this is over. Because I wanted to believe with all my heart that Conor would win that fight. And I knew within like midpoint of the first round that it was over. So Deadpool is a massive Conor I used to be a massive fan of Conor myself. Conor fanboy myself. And I just got sick of his bullshit, to be honest, and gave up on the cunt. I think a lot of people did. Like I said, I'm Irish, man. For us Irish to turn on our own people, you have to be a horrendously horrible cunt. But he's had too many chances. I've stated nothing but facts, Shotgun. There was a little bit of opinion thrown in there, but I know what you're saying. You have backed them up with a lot of facts, so fair play to you. We're going to be arguing about Conor until we're dead and buried. Yeah, this could go on all day. This could go on all fucking day. But like I said, you guys run the show. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I didn't have any plan today. I just what if they did Conor versus Tony now? Conor would fuck him up in about 60 seconds. It would be like Conor fighting Cowboy. Tony Ferguson is beyond cooked. We're definitely not talking about now. Take it easy, No Chill. Have a good one, man. I'll see you around, buddy. I'll be around for yours if you're live later on. And just a reminder to do give No Chill MMA a sub. Check his channel out. Very entertaining shit. I don't care for Ian Gary. Just throwing that in there, yeah? Just suddenly came to mind, yeah. Fuck Ian Gary. Fair play, bro. There's never a bad time to have that feeling. It doesn't matter if you stuff a couple of Khabib takedowns. He chain wrestles and overwhelms you like he did to Conor from round 1 and drained him. Yeah. That was a bad matchup for Conor from the start. Doesn't even defend his fellow Irishman. Bruv, I used to be the biggest Conor nut rider in existence. Little man. You mean email dating a 14? Yeah, I mean, I don't even. I mean, we're all basing the assumption the email is what's his name? That YouTuber. I keep forgetting his name. Again, I kind of stay away from that shit. Like, I don't even know if they're one and the same person. A lot of people seem to be telling me over and over again that he is, but frankly, it's got like I don't know. It's not like a major, I don't know. It's not something I really know much about or give too much of a fuck about, to be honest. It's not my job to be fucking ratting out nonsense. Like I do think if you are somebody that got involved with somebody who's underage, you should obviously have the worst punishment fucking possible. You should be dragged through the streets. Wheelchair guru, are they the same? I don't know. Yeah, we've talked about Rigo multiple times. I don't think Rigo's a pedo from what I've seen. I just think he's a bully and a cunt. I've said this multiple times. I feel like I say this at least once every stream. It's getting kind of fucking tired at this point. Yeah, Conor would kill him, Torren, 100%. There's no doubt in that. Well, people tell you over and over again, you listen. Yeah, I suppose so. It's just, like I said, I don't really care about all that stuff. I think all that YouTube drama is fucking retarded. I don't give a fuck, mate. I don't know enough about it to comment on it, and I don't ultimately, I've got so many people saying different things. I've literally had people DM me in Twitter on both sides of the argument. Like, I don't know why people give a fuck about my opinion in the first place on that particular subject, or on any subject, to be perfectly honest. But I definitely don't care. If that turns out to be the case, fuck him. But yeah, it's just pointless bickering again. It's just stupid. I just don't give a fuck. Tony's the most overrated fighter in UFC history. I actually love the guy, but I don't like Tony Ferguson. I think Tony Ferguson is an arsehole. I've never enjoyed anything he said. I prefer Tony Ferguson more the fighter than I do the person. And that's the thing. It's like he's a dickhead that says weird shit. He's not a particularly good fighter, but he was very entertaining. And I give him that. Yeah, Weston, if we start kicking out all the dickheads, we'll have no one here. And the chat knows what I'm saying. We care about your opinion because you got an English degree. That is fucking amazing. That is amazing. That is. Let your mods do their job then. Yeah, I don't really want people getting kicked out for stupid stuff, to be honest. I'm not really big on the booting. Like, I'd rather the bickering was at a minimum, but at the same time, if this is how you people want to live your lives, then fair enough, whatever. Your channel is not the place for bringing up gossip about other channels. It is fucking tedious. It was funny the first time, and then the second time it was like, and now it's like, it's fucking, it's dead. It's the same recycled arguments over and over again. Arguments that make no coherent sense. Because you're our Asian persuasion. That's why. I appreciate being associated with that. I appreciate that, Westy. I've got nothing negative to say about Skate Tank. I think he's a solid dude. And like I said, I don't delve into anyone's personal life because, again, I don't give a fuck. I share my personal life enough on here, and it's up for people to judge me on how I do that. But I don't judge other people's personal lives. I'm not into that. It's not for me to judge. And I ain't a fucking cop, so. Connor drowns after round 1 against Tony. Yeah, I think I agree with that. The one thing I've always had with Conor McGregor is the gas tank. I've never trusted him, and I think that's a fair criticism to make. Crossover, is your channel still pinned? Because again, I want everyone to drop Crossover MMA a sub. He's just released his first video as of yesterday, and it's great. So give Crossover a sub if you could be so kind. Gossip is estrogenic. Yeah, it is very soy and very female. I mean, Melson, to be objective here, like, you're kind of very obsessive micro drama as well. So it's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. And I'm not criticizing. It's just like, there seems to be a point where things just eventually descend into this in here. It seems to be every second stream at this point. And it's the same tired old arguments. Has Conor gassed against anyone at 155 or 140? Usually because he finishes fights quite quickly, though. Like, usually when he's in a very long fight, he struggles. I mean, he looked fucking gassed as fuck against Chad Mendes, and that only went 2 rounds. He looked like he was out on his fucking feet, and I think we were all scared in that fight. Do you dislike coppers over there? 100%. No, who likes cops? I haven't said anything about anything in this stream. You have downs. I'm not sure if that's directed at me, but I mean, to be fair, you haven't. But you've got to admit, Melson, like, usually when you turn up in a place, it's usually not that far away. And sometimes you don't need to incite that, and that's not really fair. Because like I said, yesterday, you were in a very chill mood and you were contributing to the chat really, really nice. And when I found out you were banned this morning, I obviously unbanned you. So like, I don't have an issue with you as a person. I just think that like the like I said, the arguing and the bickering stuff is just it's kind of played out. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, I've got nothing against you as a person, bro. I don't know you. Um, so yeah, I'm assuming you're talking to other people in the chat at this point. Good job unblocking, dude. Like I said, man, he didn't do anything yesterday, and I didn't block him. I didn't. Yeah, I don't do that. But I mean, he won a decision versus Diaz. He did, and to be fair, Captain, having watched that second fight, he definitely deserved it. A lot of people said that was a robbery. I've watched it again since and quite recently, and it definitely wasn't a robbery. It definitely wasn't. He won that fight pretty clearly. Frankie having to babysit too. How you doing, Lane? Yeah, it's kind of it's like my weekly it's like my weekly gift to YouTube. Different people have different turns doing this shit, and it's just my turn today. This is Skate Tank's fault, bro. Was confrontational from the jump. I mean, again, I don't know the history between you two, and maybe Skate Tank did get a bit aggressive. I don't know. Like it was obviously a little bit way back in the chat. Possibly he did. Possibly he did. I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but I think we can all agree that it's fucking stupid at this point. It just is. And the thing is that you should know as grown men. I'm assuming a lot of you are grown men. As soon as you start engaging with this shit, it's just going to keep spiraling. It's going to keep going. And this feels like to me that it's been going on for years, by the sounds of it. There's a few English fighters versus Irish fighters on US. Are you torn on who you're rooting for? Nah, not really. I like Lauren. I think he's gonna win. I don't really care for the other guy. Shannon Bannon is kind of hot, so I kind of want her to win. I don't. She's fighting a Romanian girl, so I know she trains in England, but it's kind of a wash to me. And yeah, outside of that, I'm not really too. I am rooting for most of the English dudes. But if it's English versus Irish dudes, I'm in Irish dude. I'm on Irish dudes side all day. First fruity comment of the stream. There's no history. I have no idea who this Down syndrome man child with his cheap skateboard is. Fuck. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like it's a continuation, isn't it? It's like someone starts it and then obviously you rise to the bait, and then here we are. Who's Irish? Lauren, he's fighting oh no, Lauren's fighting, yeah, he's fighting Jake Hadley. I don't mind Jake Hadley, but I prefer Lauren to win. I'm deaf. There's definitely history. How you doing? Yeah, thanks for sorry about this. People who don't give a fuck about this. But it is what it is. Maybe we should just redirect the conversation to other things now. I know this is I think we've all got we've all got the hurling insults out of the way, and maybe we can just move on. Just a suggestion. Were you born in Ireland but grew up in England? Yeah, I got like an entire Irish history, and then yeah, I moved to England when I was like 1, so I've been here relatively for most of the time since then. I did live in China for a while, so maybe I'm partly Chinese as well. You know. Oh, is he from Cage Warriors? No, I think Jake Hadley was in Cage Warriors before, but he's been in the UFC for a little while now, and he's kind of got beat up in flyweight a few times. So he's had you know, he's had a few fights in the UFC to kind of prove himself, and he hasn't had a good time of it. So I don't think going up to bantamweight and fighting like a mini tank like Lauren's going to go that well for him. But I met Lauren in person, and I'm not a huge guy, and he was quite small compared to me. So I'm only like I can only imagine how small Hadley must be if he was fighting at flyweight. That's a sick quote, Mountain Man. Sick quote. I bet Paddy Pimlet has Irish in him. Ah, for sure. For sure. A lot of those Scousers do, man. It's the first port in it when you get over from Ireland. A lot of us Irish just came over, landed at the first first port and then just started indiscriminately shagging. That's what you do. I'm rooting for Hadley, but I like Hadley as well. I like Hadley a lot. Yeah, I know Morrissey's music. I know I'm quite musically bad, but I know who Morrissey is. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one for Hadley. I think he's going to get squished. The last 7 fights of UFC 304 is absolutely, it's a brilliant card. What do you guys agree yet that this is the second best card on paper this year? Because I got fucking cooked for making that comment on when I made it on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I'm an Irish twin. It's true. Fucking sick, man. That is sick. I didn't realize you were Irish, Lane. Probably because you've never mentioned it before. But shout outs to you, bro. Mountain Man's coming out with the fire quotes today. Dan Hooker probably as Irish. Let's not go too far now. Let's not go too far. We Irish people do spread very, very well. We spread that seed like no other nation. UFC 299s was good too. Let me have a quick look to remind myself. Hang on. Nah. It was good, but it's not as good as 304. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, Jack and Burns and Piotr Yan and yeah, it was good. Michael Page and Holland, yeah. I don't think it's quite as good as 304, but it's good. That's arguably the second best card of the year. The more that I think about it, probably is. Hadley's getting destroyed. He is, yeah. He's gonna get fucking crushed. Hope Hadley at least makes a good account of himself. I think when you step in on short notice like that, and you take a fight, I've seen people come in like short notice and then get cut. I think that's really, really harsh. I think it should just be like a freebie. And he's coming up a weight class as well. I think it's going to be tough for him because he is not the biggest flyweight as well. He looks fairly jacked, like mini and jacked, but he's not a big flyweight. Sam Peterson versus Kiefer Crosby is Ireland versus England. I don't give a fuck about Crosby, and I think he's going to get battered. Sam Patterson looks really good at welterweight. I think now that he's not weight cutting too much anymore, I think he's looked much better, and I think he's going to beat the fuck out of Kiefer Crosby, who's not that good. Dan Hooker and Frankie are definitely related. What makes you say that? What makes you say that? What a fucking horrible accusation. Who wins fight of the night? I'm going to go with Duncan and Rodriguez. I reckon that's going to be a banger. They're both fun. And I think that could get very, very... That could turn into a war. That's a great question, though. Lol, Weston, look forward to the heavyweight movement. Yeah, it's not really doing anything, really, is it? It's basically we need Tom to win just to shame Jones into stop being such an absolute pussy. Yeah, CLD versus RoboCop is who I've got as well. There's going to be a few. I reckon Bilal and Leon might turn out to be a better fight than people are expecting. Their first fight started out pretty good. But yeah, I think the CLD versus RoboCop. Which one, Weston? Just want me to say yes, Lane? How far back do you want me to go? It's a good card in that the results will create movement into divisions. Yeah, I kind of said that. I said it. I alluded to it. I think it's basically I see this as fight. I see this card as a lot of fights that we need to get out of the way. A lot of cards that we need, fights that we need to get out of the way. We need Aspinall and Blades to be done, and we definitely need Bilal and Leon to be done. Whatever happens, that fight needs to be in the books and never spoken about again. Leon by sub would be hilarious. It's very, very unlikely. Like, Leon's not good on the ground, but he's trying. It would be funny. You're welcome, Westy. Sorry for missing your chat, sir. RoboCop always has exciting fights, and so does So does Duncan, but Duncan's a little bit too retarded for me. I think he wastes a lot of energy trying spinny fucking nonsense out. So I am a little bit worried about that one. Little man, stop that, man. Aspinall's not going to lose by knee injury. Tom needs to drop the humble nice guy act and cut a heel promo. And yeah, that might be his only way to go. I think he should come out and call Jones a faggot. He should call him a pussy and a faggot, and then just drop the mic and walk out. Do like a Manel Cap. Drop a double bomb in there. Yeah, the F and the P bomb, and then just march out of there. Because doing the whole nice guy thing is not going to do it for him. It's already proven to be completely ineffective. But I just don't think Tom's that guy. Yeah, no, little man. Weston and I have a fairly long history on here. I would never unmod him. And I'm too lazy to do it myself. I really want to see Tom keep the belt and how long Dana will hype. That's the weird thing, because Tom's going to defend it, and then the likelihood is I think Tom needs to stamp down his authority and try and get on that Jones card, whatever way it takes. I think if he can batter Blades and then call out, if I was Tom, as soon as he beats Blades, assuming that he does, he needs to call out Alex Pereira. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to say, look, we know that somebody out here is not going to fight me. And then he's going to call out Alex Pereira. That would be perfect. Because it's the only way that we can stop Jones from getting away with his shit time and time again. Ninja choke if Bilal presses him against the cage. I'm going to remember you said that. Man, that would be hard as fuck. Yeah. Guru needs to get in his ear. In what sense? The bad way. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip it now. How many Cage Warriors cards have you been to, Frankie? A grand total of 0, bro. I'm very ashamed about that. I've only been to one UFC event, one Bellator event, and then a whole load of like Muay Thai events, and I managed to miss one event in the most retarded way imaginable. So I did miss that. Tom must remain respectful. This is Formula One, not NASCAR. Fair play. I don't know who Lil Man is, Melson. I've only seen him in it this first time. I haven't got no idea who that is. It could be you for all I know. And I imagine that having two mods in here who hate each other will just result in everyone getting kicked out of here, which is definitely not what I want. Respect is gay. This is the fight game. True story. How you doing, Sven? Good to see you, man. Tom needs to quit the nice guy act and demand it. Yeah, we've just been saying that. I don't think Tom needs to do that. As I said, just beat Blades and call out Alex Pereira before they try and book that fight. Because if he gets on the mic and calls to that, he might get what he wants. They're gonna have to give him something as a reward for beating Blades, and he needs to, it's the only person he can call out at heavyweight, because nobody else deserves it. He's beat everyone else who's relevant. Do it. Guru knows the game. He can tell Aspinall what to say in the cage if he wins. That might not be a bad idea. We should all like spam MMA Guru and get him to ensure that he does. I mean, Tom Aspinall has like an Instagram and shit, right? Just spam his ass and say, call out Alex after the fight, mate. Don't let Jones get away with his shit anymore. Yeah, this isn't an act with Conor or Jones. Both these guys are rotten people in real life. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. Ian Gary is also a rotten individual. Ian Gary is just he's just a spoiled little rich boy who is a cunt, pretty much. Or you got a license to say slurs, mate. Anytime. I swear like a sailor in here. I've got no right to tell people not to swear. Yeah, with that, we'll do a Cage Warrior. Bro, when are you getting over here? You're more than welcome, mate. Giga got exposed back when Calvin elbowed him in the face for 15 minutes. Yeah, Calvin beat the fucking brakes out of him. That's why I'm not too nervous about Giga Chikadze and Arnold Allen. I think Arnold Allen's gonna do him. I've got no worries. No worries about that. Yeah, yeah, of course email can be. He was fucking great yesterday. Some really nice takes. Ian's a degenerate. I just think he's low IQ and he's a little child. Like the fact that he's being led around by a cougar, who granted, I mean, I think we'd all agree we'd do Ian Gary's wife, right? She's pretty hot. I don't blame him, but it's like he's people forget how young he is as well. He's 26 years old, and we've all done stupid shit at that age. I mean, Aaron's more fucking mature than that guy, and Aaron's what, 21? He's just very immature. And his choice in marrying a woman who's 40 years old and already has a child with a guy that is it's all complicated. Yeah. It shows just how fucking, yeah, just soy he is. Tom has known about the guru for quite a while. Yeah, for sure. Crystal is DMing me through a YouTube comment sections again. Crystal's brilliant, man. I was gonna come next summer. Is my plan to scope the place and meet some friends and family, bro? You're always welcome. You're always welcome. You know, just to shout me out. We'll definitely do something. Respect for your opponent isn't the same as self-respect, Matua. Yeah. Yeah, Paradox. That's a very fair point. That is a pretty great way of summarizing Ian. To be fair, I mean, Ian Gary can read out like a shopping list, and he just manages to come across like an annoying twat. But I feel like he's got it. He's got a good thing going because he is so hated at this point that if he keeps winning, he's going to be a superstar. Because people are just going to want to see him get absolutely battered, and that's just as important as being liked. Loads of people have proven that. As long as people want to see you fight and see you get fucked up, you're onto a winner. I thought the thing is, yeah, Skate Tank. I didn't think the Jeff Neal one was that bad. I thought it was a little bit out of pocket, but people have done worse. I thought the Neil Magny thing was way worse because the fact that him saying it and being completely retarded was one thing, but when he admitted after that he was just doing it to generate interest in the fight, that's what made it. I think he came out and said, "I know he didn't mean that, but I was just trying to." And the way he behaved in that entire press conference was so cringy, man. I thought the the Neil Magny one was way worse than the Jeff Neal one. Way worse. Ian definitely had a MILF fetish as a kid, then found one, got groomed, and got crazy topped, then fell in love and is now trapped forever. Yeah, Ian Gary, yeah, in 5 years from now, he's going to regret. When she looks like a dusty teabag, yeah, he's going to be really regretting it. Because when she's going to be 45 when he's 30, and he's probably going to have way more money at that point. He's going to have access to so many bitches, and he's going to have had his wings clipped. She's going to break him down. But I can't lie, I might fall for the succubus. To be fair, yeah, she's quite hot. I can see why he wanted to smash, but smash it. Don't marry it. Just take the bike for a ride, and then discard it into the river. Don't fucking put a shiny new bell on it and stick it in the garage. That's a wild thing to do. I get why he smashed it, but I cannot understand why he married it. That's bizarre. Are there Koreans in the UK? Of course there is. Of course there is. Loads. Koreans don't exist. Sounds a bit unnecessary. Let's list off all his soy attributes. Live, laugh, love tat. Yep, definitely. Married a single mum, 15 years senior. Check. Took her last name. Vegan. Hired his wife's ex. I mean, yeah, that pretty much is game over. I've never seen soyness to that degree. I've never seen it. I really hate his ankle tattoo as well. He's just a fruity individual. And there's so much ammunition on this guy now that, like I said, I imagine for him, he's going to have some very hard press conferences ahead, which is probably why he wants to fight Shavkat. Because he looked up the list and he's gone, yeah, these are all harder fights, but they're all going to cook me because they can speak English. I know, I'll take Shavkat. Shavkat's not going to say anything to me. Marrying an older woman or a single mother is red line territory. He did both. Yeah, and that's undeniable. As solid males, that's just as real males, that's just it's shameful to see. He got ensnared early. I mean, she got him when he was what, 23? She planned that shit. She absolutely planned that shit all day long. And he looks like Captain Underpants. He fucking does as well. Is that who Captain Underpants is in Dougie's chat? I just got that reference now. I was wondering who the Captain Underpants sticker was for. That makes I should have put two and two together. Yeah, hiring her ex-wife while smashing her in the same house is actually, that could be seen as kind of based, you know. Like hiring the ex-husband and then fucking digging her out every night. But you know that he ain't doing that. You know that he ain't doing that. He's definitely the ex-husband is definitely still smashing that when Gary's not at home. Fully. Ian married it because she was pregnant and Neymar wasn't paying her attention to her any longer. Good point, Lane. That is a fair assessment of the situation. Yeah. She was in everyone's DMs. I heard she was in Dylan Dennis's DMs as well, which is just shameful behavior. I heard she was in True Geordie's DMs as well. Is that true? I don't know if that was ever confirmed. Lots of guys these days thinking being kind of gay is cool. Painted. Yeah, I can't get with any of that. Effeminate tats, piercings, etc. Talbot, Gary. Yeah. It is a strange world we live in. It is a strange world. I really don't get the nail polish thing. And there are some people who are genuine, like, you know, whether Ian's home or not. Yeah, good point. Um, yeah, it's a weird one. I don't, because there have been some like genuine like manly men out there who do the nail. What is the nail polish stuff all about? I mean, it is gay, but I don't think it's necessarily a revelation of being gay, from what I understand. But it's a weird choice. Like, I don't get why people do that. It doesn't look. It looks awful. Is running a train on a woman gay? Depends on if you're crossing swords or not. I always thought like double dipping was kind of gay. I think if you're somebody who does a devil's freeway and double dips, then there's definitely a bit gay. That's definitely I think it's fully gay, to be honest. If you're in that close proximity with another dick, you're definitely on the edge. Yeah, she was getting passed around the athletic world, especially footy players. I mean, it's not surprising, is it? She is semi-hot. She is semi-hot. So is it true that she was getting piped by Neymar? Yeah, I thought Neymar was into his sister. Yes, it's gay. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. It's a psyop. Girls like to emasculate men, but I feel like men are emasculating themselves. I don't even think this is a feminist or female issue. I feel like it's a soy issue. I don't think women are asking for this. I don't think women are attracted to those kind of men. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. She's objectively hot. It's just that yeah, bro, I'm with you, Mountain. Tap it, move on. That's all that should have been. It should have been a one and done deal. Or maybe do you know what? Maybe a couple of smashes and then disregard. It definitely shouldn't have been like it shouldn't have been I'm not even against people tapping women that have kids. It's just don't get involved. No, it's that simple. Everybody needs their fingers clean. Painting nails is too much. You can't have your fingers in chicks after changing the oil in your car. Huh. How many orgies have you been in, Frankie? I've been in, well, technically one, But I've had a few threesomes. They're not that fun, to be honest. It's just more hard work. The idea of a threesome is not as good as the actuality of it. It's more for like it's more for the power you feel, not for the. If you're looking for straight up pleasure and a good time, one-on-one's always better. But those were in the very much in the past, in the rearview mirror. I just think it's extra work and it's just not worth the time. Smash and pass. Yep. We call it fucking chuck around here. Or smash and dash was another one. We like our women abusing to rhyme. I would have smashed her all the way up to the top 10 and then ditched her. I respect that. Deadpool. No, we would be talking about how Jessica Andrade is a babe if it was an ITP. Does he think Jessica Andrade is ITP's taste in women? And I hope Phil is in here because I say this to him often. ITP's taste in women is disgraceful. He said several things in that stream that were iffy to me. It was Root and Boot is beautiful. Root and Boot is fucking. I'm saving that one. He said that Rose with hair is cute and hot, which is just a gross thing to say. Then he said that Megan Addison is not that hot, which is just not that hot doesn't even come into it. She's an absolute monster. And then who else did she? Oh, he said Jessica Pena was all right as well, which is just fucking outrageous, mate. Plunge and expunge. I'm less fond of that one. Dip and dip is all right. Root and boot is class though. I love that. Cuck and cut. I think you're thinking of something slightly different. Is that the Gary Spesh? At my university, there's this giant group chat app that all the posts are on it, and girls are posting pictures of those type of guys, warning others about how they are awful people. That sounds like a service to the community, if I'm being honest. Jessica Andrade picks her man up to fucks. Jessica Andrade is a known dyke, bro. I don't think Jessica Andrade is that terrible. Like, I don't think she's ugly, but she definitely doesn't have a body to write home about. She's a bit ironing board. She's not my type, but I don't think she's the worst. Smash Layla to top 10 and then slide into Misha Tate was fucking fine as well. Ariane Nipsky's all right. Ariane Nipsky's I wouldn't turn that down 100%. She's pretty hot. Diana Belbita, Baby Shark. I mean, we know who the regulars are. I think that Luana Santos is pretty fit as well. I would pull the fucking brains out of that. Yeah, there's stuff that, yeah. Yeah, Chris Gray understands it. Yeah, that's the Gary special. That's it's perfect. Hit and run is all right as well. That's like the basics. The old hit and run. Splash and dash is great. We use splash and dash as well. Hit and split is great. Yeah. It's so much more funny when it rhymes. It feels more cruel when it rhymes. I don't know why. Well, things have evened out nicely here, boys. This has turned into a cleave and leave. Yeah. Chop and bop was another one we used to say. Spin and win. Yeah, win would be leaving. Yeah, Philip did the Jessica Andrade OnlyFans review and has been obsessed talking about her nonstop. Jessica Andrade's OnlyFans was genuinely horrific. And I mean, I haven't gone through her entire OnlyFans, but I obviously saw the belt covering, and it was gross. I think I think that was foul, but I don't think she's horrendous. Be real. Would anyone in here not tap Jessica Andrade, objectively speaking, even as a slump buster? We definitely ejaculate and evacuate is fucking goated as well. At crossover, I would drink it with my bare hands. Chupa and Uber. Nut and cut. Bloody hell, man, this is endless. This sounds like there should be a Discord fucking thing. Oh man, that's fucking deep, Deadpool. That we've reached a. Oh, that was another one that reminded me of Matua. Bus and dust is what we used to say in the UK quite a lot. Yeah, man, bus and dust. That's a joke, by the way. I know, bro. I know, bro. You're solid people. I'm sure you haven't killed anyone. Nut and cut got me rolling. It is sick. That is a sick one. That is a sick one. Pollyanna is mid. Nah, Pollyanna ain't mid. Pollyanna ain't mid. I actually think the whole like simping for Alex Pereira made her kind of hotter for me. I've said this in previous streams as well. I kind of like a woman that if you dick them down correctly, that you've got them for life. And her turning up in that t-shirt was like, yep, she definitely got deep down, and she's never gonna let that go. He can literally call her up 5 years from now and be like, "What time is it?" And she'll be around there in a minute. You need women like that in your life. You need someone in your life that you can literally do anything to, and as long as you dicked it down once or twice superbly, they're latched on for life. And Viana is objectively quite hot. Cream pied and bye bye. Everyone's scanning their brains for fucking right now. Martin, I know you've been here. I know you've been here for a little bit, but this is typical for in here. Not this particular topic, but it definitely not particularly this one, but this is definitely on brand. Earn the daughters, return to the headquarters. It's not bad. Paradox, you're ready to go with these, man. I feel like you've been waiting for this to come up. I should have said you guys were going to revolve back into sex talk earlier. That's a fair criticism, Melson. To be honest, it's a fair criticism. I mean, you've got us on that one. It usually happens about 1.5 hours in. Usually, but to be fair, at least it's a different strand. So I'm going to give the chat credit for that. The thing is, yeah, I've got a very bad reputation amongst the community for this kind of talk, and I'm not responsible for any of it. It's like how what's his name, Mexican food truck keeps going at me for the midget stuff, and I had nothing to do with that. Chris can confirm this. We spoke about it, but at no point did I say that I would fuck a midget. And literally every time I'm in ICP stream now, he's like, "Yeah, man, all they talk about in there is fucking. It's how they fuck midgets and how bad MMA Math loves to smash midgets." I'm like, that never came out of my mouth, bro. I used to be a rapper back in the day. I believe you. I believe you. We started our talk. We did do a fair bit of MMA talk. I mean, a good bulk of the chat was talking about Tony and Connor. I'm not sure it was the best use of our time, but it happened. It definitely happened. Yeah, it has been pretty funny. I mean, some of the stuff, spunking and bunk. That's a good one. That's a good one as well. I like that. I think this could go on endlessly, to be honest. There's no limit to this topic. I did Chris Gray. It was pretty good. I got like a cherry one. By the way, yeah, was I supposed to put butter on it and then toast it, or was I supposed to toast it and then put butter on it? I never did ask you. I'm back. How you doing, Aaron? Was on the can. You haven't missed anything, bro. We've had some good ones though. We had some good suggestions. Chuck and then duck. Yeah. I feel like the cut one's better though. Chris Gray, that's a horrible sexual innuendo. Nah, it's something we talked about here. I mean, I can see how you take it that way, but it was literally one of Chris's suggestions. Like, and to be fair, it was good. Put butter on a hot blueberry muffin. Is that an innuendo as well? Is that banging? Yeah. Put butter on it, then toast it. You see, I'd be worried about that dripping into my toaster though. I assumed it was you toast it and then while it's piping hot, you stick the butter on then. I do have like a sandwich maker though. Maybe I could do it to that. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to try that. I mean, would it be that much different? Toast it, then that's what I thought, Chris. I thought it was that way around. But you never clarified if they're squishy face ones or the normal ones. It's the one with you mean the Pop Tarts, yeah? No, we're talking about Pop Tarts now. We've moved on. I mean, Paradox hasn't, but fair play, keep cooking. No, it's very little literal. What's very literal? Oh yeah. Oh no, no, fair play. I'll give it a go. I like blueberry muffins. I haven't had one for a while. But if you vouch for it, I'm willing to give it a crack. Why not? Toast sourdough with butter. I've had sourdough and butter. Sourdough's amazing. And honeycomb with a pinch of salt. Mm. You got me. I'm trying to get you to ruin your time. I did apologize for that, Melson. To be fair, it was six of one and half a dozen of the other. But like there's so much of the chat going on here that it's difficult to remember who started it. But you two clearly have a history, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, sourdough is amazing. I like sourdough. But like some people don't, and I get it. I don't even know how sourdough's made, and I have a feeling that if I knew, I probably wouldn't eat it anymore. Sourdough is good. We've got the recipe. They can go back. Fried egg on dark rye. Yeah, that sounds fucking good. Paradox is not giving up. Deadpool's not done either. I wouldn't say I love them, but I don't hate them. They usually are pretty funny, and it was not a squishy face one. Just looked super short. I've lost track of what the fuck. I thought you were talking about Pop Tarts. I'm fucking lost, bro. Or maybe you still are. I don't know. Sourdough has to be toasted to be good. It's shit as bread. That is very true. Because in the UK we do that a lot, where we get like bread like medleys before food, and you just get this lump of like sour, and it doesn't taste the same. If you toast it, it kind of brings that flavor out. You don't like sourdough, Melson? I make my own sourdough. It's very easy. I'd be interested to know how you do that. Matchway, you're in the Discord, right? I think I left the Discord in the description. Brioche bread and sourdough bread. Can't you do both? Can't you sourdough brioche bread? I'm sure someone's tried that. They must have. Brioche is goated for French. Have you guys ever had eggy in a basket? I think eggy in a basket is way better than French toast. Eggy in a basket is way better than French toast. I love sourdough. That's cool, man. I love it too. Yeah, I prefer eggy in a basket if anybody knows what that is compared to French toast. But I'm very good at making both. It's one of the very few things that I still cook. So I say cook, prepare from time to time. I'm done reading these out. You can just enjoy them at your leisure. Yeah, Pop Tarts and midgets. See, this is why I get Trey Lesh French toast is ghosted. What is that? Badmouth Discord. How you doing, Dougie's Corner, my man? Eggy is a hole. Nah, you know what I mean by yeah, eggy in a basket is I think is what it's called. That's when you cut a hole in the center with the bread and put an egg in it. Yeah, and you have to make sure that the egg is really runny. That's my favorite way to prepare eggs. But now that I'm a bit more sophisticated, I prefer my eggs poached. Do you know what I'm saying? How you doing though, Dougie? You at work at the moment, mate? And of course, subscribe to Dougie's Corner if you haven't. Fucking legend in these parts. Raw eggs, milk, maple syrup blended is a goated drink. Really? I don't have a blender, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to try that one. I should really get one, but I don't know. That might be the best one so far. That might be the best one so far. What's Trey Lesh? Let's see. By the way, if you guys haven't subscribed, oh yeah, I think I've seen this. It's basically like what? It looks like icing, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay. I'll give it a go, man. There's a way to poach eggs in a microwave. Oh, Crystal, you've got to share that with me. Because I really struggle with poached eggs. I'm not very good at preparing them. Just get a brokey hand blender. Yeah, that's not a bad suggestion. It's good to have you here, Dougie, man. It's been a fucking shit one today. I'm gonna be honest with you. This might be the worst stream I've ever done. And I'm blaming the chat for this because it's been fucking diabolical. Oh, Trey Lush means 3 milks. I gotcha. G'day, Kant. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. That's not bad as well, Paradox. I'm not reading it out though. Enjoy your brown snake for lunch, Dougie. Yeah, we got into the brown snakes last time. It was great. It's like caramel or butterscotch, pretty much. Yeah, I can fuck with that. Paradox has come up with some zingers today. He's been autistically locked into this topic for the last 45 minutes. Oh man, I'm not saying that out loud. I've almost got through this entire stream without saying anything zesty, and Dougie almost got me. Skate Tank ruined the stream earlier. It was a difficult time for me, a difficult half an hour, but we got through it, boys. Thanks, Crystal. I'm gonna Oh, I've just realized in the 56% US. Shit. This is why I have to stream at this time in the morning, because I have to cater to you fucking Yankee cunts. I'm just gonna chuckle at them now, and I'm not gonna read them out. It's been quite the stream, little bro. It fucking has not. And what's with the little bro shit, man? Why are you fucking ragging on me now? I thought we were boys. It's been a horrible waste of time today. But you can't hit a home run every night. I've learned that the hard way. This is all a learning experience for me. I've got to have some stinkers in order to up the game. Ew, don't call me a Yankee. I was pissed off by the little bro comment, to be honest. I felt touched. And I've been touched since I went into ITP stream earlier. I've just been slightly irked. What do you prefer to be called, Aaron? Or what do you hate to be called? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Yeah, Mountain Man's been coming hard today. I feel like I'm in a goddamn niche nightmare right now. But I'm not a mod, so I will have to send it on Twitter. Is that it? Are you fishing, Chris? You probably deserve it at this point. But I feel like we've got so many mods in here, and because I'm getting so many people banned and I don't know what's happening, it could just be YouTube. I thought that was a good one by me. Yeah, we've had some pretty good ones in here. I'm gonna have to decide which one is my. Yeah, so is Yankee like an insult? Americans don't call each other Yankees, I imagine. You call each other goats, and you're just wrong. Fair play. Barely though. I got it from my other Australian homie. That's not Douglas. He is a Chad. We've had a few Australians turn up today. It's been pretty sweet. I assumed they all came from Dougie, but apparently they didn't. I know you didn't mean the New York Yankees, but fuck them. Ah, I see. I can see why that might have upset you. Yeah, there's been some good ones today. I mean, considering how fucking bad this chat has been, that's been the highlight, which says it all, really. Yanks are Northeastern Americans, specifically New York. I did not know that. I should have put 2 and 2 together, really, but I did not. It's not YouTube randomly banning people. Stop being a boomer. Some of your mods are just waiting till you aren't looking. The thing is, though, I can't see what goes on because I'm in Restream. So I can't see who bans anyone because it doesn't appear in here. And I don't rewatch my own streams because that would be weird. I don't even know what a boomer means as well. So maybe you're right. I don't know. I call Jamie a yank every day. She hates it every time. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one in the back pocket. No, not fishing. I was gonna send you an egg poaching video hack. No, I'd love to get that. And to be fair, Chris, you do deserve it. You've been around there for a long time. So I'm definitely gonna take that under consideration. I'm firmly believing that Weston hasn't done it now because usually Weston has a big announcement before he kicks somebody out. He usually tries to dish out a few warnings before he puts the boot in. But again, I don't know how this whole thing works. So there's obviously a lot of trust involved. Not only that, but it can also mean U.S. person loyal to the union. You see that's where it gets a little bit confusing. There's Yankees and Yankers. Well, I think we're all Yankers in here, to be fair. Yeah, you're right. It's that evil YouTube just randomly pressing the block button. Yeah. I mean, that might be a fair point. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. That's the link I put up. It's sweet. I've only banned one person. You banned the person who tried to dox me, right? I'm pretty sure that's the only time you kicked somebody out, from my recollection of it, and that was more than well deserved. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not reading these out anymore. Boomer is a term for anyone older than the Zoomer using it. Yeah, I'm not a boomer then, and I'm not that old. In the US, faggot means gay everywhere, like Carlos Ulberg. Man, you were ready. Man, Paradox, you're on fire today. And I know you didn't Google that one. You made that one up, so I'm giving you the prize for today. Well done. I mean, you don't get anything for it, but apart from a hearty pat on the back, mate. This chat has been absolute dog shit. It really fucking has. This is definitely a low point for me. Not that I don't appreciate you all, I do, but fuck king hell. I thought a boomer is just an older person who doesn't understand the internet and is stuck in their own ways / dickhead. Let's see what the Google definition of it is. Yeah, mod drama. Yeah, it hasn't really been mod drama. It's just been more. It was just a pissy little bitch fight that people got into earlier, which was right. So according to Google, short for baby boomer, the younger generation have to live with the effects longer than the boomers do. Yeah, that contextually doesn't make sense to me in this situation. Then I ain't Google shit. It's all from there. I believe you, Paradox. You're definitely fucked up enough to come. Best bad MMA chat of all time. No, I feel like we had the best one a couple of days ago. It was the one when No Chill came in here for the first time, and we just all started fucking going. We all started cooking it. That was the most fun I've had in a live stream. It is what it is. It is what it is. Do you smoke fag like Tommy Aspinall will do against John Jones? Yeah. This channel is trash. No joking. I mean, if that's how you feel, Westy, you know where to go, mate. I'm not begging anyone to stick around here. And I've got no control often where the direction of things go. Maybe that's partially my fault, but yeah, it is very much dependent on what people feel like talking about. That is the pitfall, and sometimes the great thing about doing live chats like this. You very much depend on what mood people are in. And I can't control that. And I'm not going to control what people try to feel like talking about in here. The chat is what you make of it. Baby boomer was the post-war generation where all the soldiers knocked up their wives, causing a population boom. Yeah, but is baby boomer and boomer the same thing? Because I feel like boomer's been made an entirely different thing these days. I feel like it's been reinvented. Who is No Chill? No Chill MMA's channel. It's pretty funny, man. He's definitely worth checking out. Speaking of No Chill, I figured out if I move to Texas, I can start distilling my own moonshine legally. Is that a thing there? I've never had moonshine. Is moonshine like your own, like, is that like bootleg liquor? Boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. I think nobody has a firm definition of what it means. That's what I'm gathering in this chat. But I feel like being called one by email was completely odd. I don't get how that applies to me here. Yes, I'm thinking it's derivative. Just means out of touch with the zeitgeist. Which I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'm not very well informed on the intricacies of YouTube, as you can probably tell. Like I try to kind of leave my trust in people who helped get me here, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm sure you can get a permit to legally so is the issue that it can be potentially dangerous then? Moonshine is whiskey that hasn't been aged in barrels. Okay. So it's basically at the first part of the fermentation process, I'm assuming. So it's basically like bootleg plonk, I guess is how you put it. Fair enough. I have heard of it. It is pretty old school though. Yeah, it's bootleg liquor, and you can come up with any recipe. It's just not stored in a barrel. It's stored. Fair play. Yeah, I think we've reached a yeah. Blaming YouTube for banning your chat randomly is boomer tech take. That YouTube wants viewers and engagement. They wouldn't randomly start banning your viewers. I mean, yeah, Melson, that's fair. But like I said, I don't know everything on here. I'm not somebody who's been who's had a channel for that long, and I've only been having an active live chat for the last like couple of months. Like, so forgive my ignorance. But saying someone's an outright boomer just because of one thing that they're ignorant of is fucking retarded, mate. To be perfectly honest, and I think it's overgeneralizing. No, moonshine is not legal anywhere. ATF needs to collect their taxes. Yeah, but surely you should be allowed to make whatever you want if you've paid the taxation on whatever ingredients you're using. So that seems like an odd one to me. It doesn't ban viewers; it bans ideas. Because I know that there's some people in the past who have been afraid to use like the pandemic word and things like that. I mean, I've never seen instances where people have been banned from that, but man, it is what it is. If you want to cheat, you can take pieces of old barrel and stick it in the jar, kind of like making tea. Man, you're a pro, innit? I'm not surprised that you're an expert on this particular topic. You want to play the aren't you game? What the fuck is that? I mean, if it doesn't descend into fucking childish lunacy, then I guess I'm open to it. I imagine I'm only going to be around for like half an hour longer because I don't know how much more of this shit I can take, to be fair. Okay. Good thing I'm Deadpool and not some retard that roleplays as him online. When did you edit the title to Cuckchado? It's been in there from the beginning, man. It's been in there from the beginning. I don't put a lot of thought and creativity into my titles whatsoever, which is probably obvious. I'm assuming Melson has just been munted out. Who are the culprits for this shit chat? We need accountability. I feel like it just started. I feel like we started quite badly about half an hour in, and then it just kind of steamrolled from there. But I can promise you, every chat is not like this. Sometimes we have a fuckload of fun in here. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood. Like it's fair. I give a lot of credit to Phil and people for being able to come in here every day and just keep things going because it is tough. And like I said, it is dependent on you guys. Oh, moonshine can make you blind due to see, that would make sense as to why it's illegal. I don't think it's a taxation thing. I think it's literally that. I mean, that could be part of the reason. Frankie, how did you feel when you saw JFK capped? How dare you? How fucking dare you? I mean, I think that was what? Yeah, that was like 16 years after I was born, I think. That's a good singer though, man. Fair play. I've had a message in live chat shadow censored. YouTube has certain words. The thing is, yeah, I do think that is true because there have been times in ITP's chat where I've said stuff and in other people's chat where I've said stuff and it just has like it appears in my chat, but it doesn't appear in like the general chat. And sometimes I do get caught slipping looking at top chats because it automatically sets to that for some reason. But so I do think that has something to do with it. But again, I don't think it's a generally ignorant thing to not know because I do think there's things about YouTube that none of us really fully have a grasp on. Sometimes you get Guru joining chat. Yeah, man, he was here yesterday. I think he was here like briefly. He was only here for like 10 minutes or something, but it was cool. MMA Joey's burner. Is this you, Paradox? Is this you, Paradox? Read little. Are you little man as well? I mean, you could be about to. WMC always ruins the entertainment. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think this stream was cursed from the beginning. It went downhill pretty fucking quickly. I don't think they auto ban you from channels. I don't think that happens, but I do think censorship does happen to some extent. Like I think some messages do get blocked because I have seen it happen, but I think the auto banning thing probably isn't the case. But again, I don't know. We could very fucking easily look into this. It isn't that difficult. Fast enough or not fast enough, depending on your view, Deadpool. Yeah, if you distill your moonshine, right, no blindness happens. You got to get rid of the first so much. But that sounds like a game of roulette that I'm not willing to play. Like I'm not that much of an alky that I'm willing to risk blinding myself, or as much of a cheap ass that I'm willing to blind myself. So I think what's the benefit of taking moonshine then? Is it just like if it works, does it just get you especially fucked up? Like is that the oh MMA Joe was Bernie Joe is Melson. Okay. If Matt Hughes wasn't built like a tank, I don't think him being built like a tank had anything to do with it. It sounds like Crystal does flavor her moonshine. For a wrestler, he could sprawl when the train double legged him. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how it went down. I wonder how the hit happened. I'm assuming he was in his truck and his truck got hit. Like, there's no way the train hit him head on, obviously, or that he even got clipped by the train because he'd be fully dead. Obviously, the train clipped his truck or whatever he was in. It's potent as fuck. 180 proof. So I'd imagine it's a very quick and cheap way to get fucked up really, really, really easily, right? Is that what the benefit is? You should get a fat line of angel dust on stream for 1,000. That's not a terrible suggestion. Maybe I could do. I don't know if I could do angel dust on stream because that would definitely get me munted out of YouTube. But I could maybe do like a shroom or something. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be. I think doing a line on stream would definitely be a quick way to get kicked off YouTube. I'm pretty sure the community guidelines wouldn't be too fond of something like that. I'm assuming. For some reason, like smoking a bong is fine, which I assume it would be because obviously weed is legal in loads of places. But I think I think doing a line on live stream would be and also I've never done it, so that would be a risky proposition. Moonshine is higher proof, but whatever gets tempered down with water, it's illegal because of the government not getting their taxes. You pour the first jug out, these are called the heads. Man, you're fucking knowledgeable on this shit. Yeah, I think WMC has been cool today. I don't think he's been upset. Remember when Colby said to get off the tracks like Matt Hughes after he beat his yeah, that was so out of pocket. It felt like so unnecessary. And what makes it worse is that he obviously wrote it down, rehearsed it a few times, and then still went with it. So that's what makes the comment that much more disgusting. If he just come out with it, it would have been fine, and we would have put it down to him just being a bit of a dick. But the fact that he clearly planned it in advance uh makes it more fucked up. Yeah, how did that happen? Like, how do you get hit by a train? Because Aaron, I know you're explaining it to some extent, but how? How the fuck does it happen? Like, if you don't see a train coming, you're kind of an idiot. Or hear it coming, for that matter. What the fuck is gooning? The thing is, I learn a lot of things in this chat, and it's never productive, or it's like 99% not productive. I basically learn stupid, useless shit that that do nothing to enrich my existence. And the reason why I say 99% is because I feel like that poached eggs thing is definitely going to help me out. But outside of that, it's been very fucking pointless. What a waste of time. Frankie looks very athletic. I played a lot of sports back in the day, but I think athletic is a little bit of a stretch. I'm in decent condition. And that's another thing that Mexican food truck called me out for. He said I'm a fatty, which I thought was like, really? I don't think so, buddy. Sorry, I'm falling a little bit behind here. I bet Paradox that deserves all the pizzas if done. Yeah, maybe I could reward Paradox with a pizza tonight for all of his hard work. We'll see. What would you do if a fan ran up to you and hugged you? I'm kind of all right with stuff like that. I mean, I'm never going to have a fan. That's never going to happen. But I think if a randomer ran up to me and hugged me, I'd kind of be all right with it. Depends on the situation and depends on the person. Depends on the gender. Colby would have called the police on the train, and rightfully so. For fucking sure, bro. The benefit of moonshine is the different flavors. So you can get really creative with it. Sounds like a good idea. I'm pretty sure Colby called the police on Verdum. He definitely did. I mean, he hit him with a boomerang, though. I mean, that's beyond a joke at that point. That Nate the Train comment was good. Deadpool, you're good. You could make it seem like a fake line and not do it directly on stream. But then what's the point? Because now you've just given me the idea to just pretend that I've done it and then not really do it. So drugs are gay. Yeah, I've never really done any drugs. People know that about me in here. I've only ever smoked weed, and that was a long time ago. I'm sorry, I'm so far behind, guys. Thanks for using the word suicide. That's very helpful, little man, because apparently that word is another thing on YouTube that doesn't get too very. It's not very well favored. He wrote about it in his book. See, that makes a lot more sense to me. But then he still comes across as a fucking dumbass. Because like then he missed the train. It's like, nah, man. I mean, it's bad whatever way you want to cut it. Remember in the press conference with Marty, he said that he gave his that was pretty fucked up as well. It's just unnecessary. I used to enjoy Colby, but there were a couple of times when I was like, yeah, I don't really love that. Oh, isn't gooning when you just? I think that's cooming, Connor's pal. But it could be. I mean, there's about 400 ways to say jack in it. Yeah, that was brutal. The Glenn Robertson comment was fucking terrible. I identify as a goon maxing Chad. I genuinely don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's beaten off again. No, you do deserve some props, Chris Gray. You do. The Pop Tart was decent. I mean, I wouldn't say it's anything that I'm going to stick to for life or anything, but I mean, it was decent enough. It's not like it wasn't amazing, but maybe I just did it the wrong way, and maybe I bought the wrong Pop Tart. Maybe I need a different flavor. Just notice the tracks on the ground. It's a slight warning to something. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Frankie, I'm your number one fan. Will you accept my hug? Yeah, I think we're on good enough terms for a man hug now. I think we're on good enough terms for that. Yeah, he was probably more contemplating that after the train accident. As I said, whatever way you cut that, whatever direction you go with that in, it always has baffled me that people get hit by trains. Like I get people getting hit by cars. Obviously, you step into the road without looking, that's a different thing. But like trains and coming around a corner, I don't know, man. It's bizarre. That seems extra level stupid to me. Anyway, I think we're fairly close to wrapping up this monstrosity. So if you guys could like the stream just to give me some reason to have been here for long enough. But also, I'll probably give it another 15 minutes. But if there's anything in particular you want to talk about, now's the time to bring it up. I think we can wrap this. I think we can wrap this POS up. I'm so glad I'm not going. And by the way, just a reminder to everyone, Making the Walk is streaming tomorrow night, so I won't be on. Thank fucking Christ. I should have just ridden the high from yesterday's stream and just taken a day off. Oh, gooning is named for the trance-like state your face makes, also drooling. Is that like when you're drugged out of your? Is that like when you're drugged out of your mind? I've never been that fucked. Manel Cape. I'm a massive Manel Cap fan. Paradox is going live chat. Yeah, we can all jump over to Paradox very soon as well. I mean, you're welcome to jump over to Paradox whenever you like, to be fair. I ain't your boss out here. So yeah, shows cinnamon sugar Pop Tart. It's the best. I haven't had a cinnamon Pop Tart turn up yet. Email getting his last few body shots in. Good stream chat. Thanks very much, Lane. It would be great if you could subscribe if you haven't already, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you in here. No, and I would like to apologize, Lane, because it's not usually that stinky in here. I mean, it has been as stinky as this from time to time. Maybe not this stinky, but we have had one or two bad ones. But at least we got some food talk in here and some fucking, yeah, some bus and dust examples. Oh yeah, try it with all kind of different flavors. My favorite is the snickerdoodle kind. That's the thing. We don't have any sick flavors over here. We've got very basic flavors in the UK. But I am gonna order the cinnamon because I'm a big fan of cinnamon. So the cinnamon brown sugar one, I will, man. I'll give it a try. I'm not really on a diet right now. You know, it's I'm in fairly decent shape. I'm not too bad. I appreciate that, Lane. At least I feel like I didn't completely waste my fucking evening here. If somebody jumps into the team, at least you can kind of say what you want in here. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes it goes very, very horribly, but sometimes it's great for the exact same reason because we latch onto a topic that we all enjoy and then it just goes naturally from there. It's pretty cool, you know. But yeah, if you had a good time in here, then there's definitely value to be had around here because it does get, and it's not because of me, it's because of the chat. I don't normally just talk about sex, Melson. That's fucking bullshit. I don't bring stuff up. I'm not the dictator of where the unless we do like a specific treat stream where we're talking about a card that's coming up or a card that's just happened or a fight that's been announced or whatever. I have no direction. I have no say on where the chat goes. I have no say. It's been cool. Like I say, you guys are all fucking solid. It's a nice way to spend an evening, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I really do. I do feel apologetic when I feel like I've wasted your time to some extent. Sex talks is banned. No girls allowed. Let's not go too crazy now. It's always what we can sink to as like low hanging fruit whenever things get really dark. But like I said, I'm more than happy to talk about whatever people want to in here. If people start bringing up fucking vagina and then it goes in that direction, who am I to direct it away? You know? We'll be good next time. Yeah. It tends to go back and forth. Like usually when there's a bad one, it's usually followed up by a good one. So if our time was wasted, we just did. I appreciate that, Mountain Man. To be honest, like I do. It's just like I said, I'm very early into this, and there's been some highs. There's gonna be highs. There's gonna be lows. Like when you're streaming 2-3 hours a night and you're not used to it, there are gonna be some ups and downs. But it's all part of the process, and I obviously knew that like this was part of the learning experience. I thought this had been quite a productive stream. There were some highlights for sure. Yeah, 24 stuck around. I mean, this still blows my mind. It still blows my mind. It really does. It really does. Literally 6-7 weeks ago, we had like 5-6 people in here, and it was still nice. There's 5 or 6 core people we had were great, but no, this still blows my mind, and I do appreciate it. I think it also helps that nobody's really streaming tonight. Uh-oh. You only talk about that's just not true though. I wouldn't mind owning that if it was true, but I hope this has been worthwhile for you. You're just on the guru. Calm down. This is detox. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. I think after that yesterday, it was definitely like it definitely was there was a come down to come for sure. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Chris, and thanks all of you for hanging out. Like I said, I do really appreciate it. I do really appreciate it. It does mean a lot. I don't know if Melson is an ITP lover. I think what happens with Melson is he gets like, oh, no problem, crossover, and I really hope I really hope you got a bit of a boost today. But we'll keep it going. And like I said, just keep uploading when you're putting videos into the Discord, and I'm sure everyone will support you because you're a fucking legend, mate. And I really thought your breakdowns were bang on as well. They really were. So keep doing your thing, man. You're off. The thing is, the hardest video to make, anyone will tell you, is on YouTube. The hardest one to make is the first one. And then once you get it out there, it starts from there. What's the timestamp on Guru in your chat yesterday? The thing is, Mountain. I do know roughly when it was because I took a little recording of it. But I went back into Guru's chat yesterday and I can't find. You mean on my chat? I think it was. Do you know what? I think it was around the hour mark. I think it was like an hour and 3 minutes in, something like that. It was a decent chat. The chat yesterday was really good. The chat yesterday was fun. It was about a minute. It was about 1 hour and 3 minutes in, something like that. Maybe 1 hour and 2 minutes. You literally see the moment when I shit myself. But like, yeah, crossover. You're very welcome, bro. You are very well. I'm just gonna call you crossover from now on, just so it doesn't get confusing. But I appreciate you, my man. Yeah, I think it was about 1 hour, 3 minutes, something like that. I think I may be incorrect. I may be incorrect on that. Yeah, no, I think what happens with Melson is he comes into people's chats, and then eventually he gets into arguments with people, and then he just goes on a tirade going into different people's chats and then creating the same problem. It seems to be a bit of a vicious cycle. I don't get it. I don't want to ban anyone in here. I really don't. But if he keeps up with that, then it's gonna have to be a permanent thing because it's just not worth the. It's honestly not worth the arguments that it causes. And again, I've got nothing against him as a person. I don't know him, but it seems to me that things descend into chaos pretty quickly when he gets going. And I know he didn't kick things off today, but he definitely continued it. And I just can't have people coming in and ruining the streams every time because people get drawn into it, and then before we know it, it just it turns into a fucking playground. So I'm not entirely blaming him, but you found it cool, man. I thought, Mountain, when it happened at the time, I literally thought like that I'd gone silent for like 2 minutes. But I did go back and look at that particular part, and it was it's fine, Weston. It's hard to argue with it, to be honest. At this stage, it's hard, and I'm sure he's probably back in here again. It is what it is. Oh, there we go. Fair enough, Melson. Um, yeah, I am gonna go watch it in person. I've got fairly decent tickets as well. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm actually going to turn up in a onesie, and I've got like a little travel pillow that I'm going to bring on just to mog the entire thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I am going to take the piss out of the situation as well. The thing is, yeah, now that we've riled him up here, this is going to be a regular thing, and he's just going to do this now. He's just going to do this on a regular basis. Khabib corner. Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. He's probably holed up somewhere in the Middle East. I'd say we're not going to see Khabib around for a long time. That's genuinely what I think. He's Oscar De La Hoya and ITP is Dana White. He's obsessed with him and makes his life about him for some reason. I wonder where the hate came from. Is there a Q&A? You should go ask a question. Musical did it before. What do you mean by Q&A? Just woke up. What did I miss? Nothing, mate. Nothing, Betty, whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. I think I'm literally gonna duck off now and yeah, we'll do the Paradox raid. So Paradox, if you could post your link in here, mate, you're more than welcome to go. Yeah, basically Melson has come in here multiple times talking shit and has just been banned on like multiple accounts. He's clearly having one of his fucking episodes tonight. I don't know what the fuck's up with him. Anyway. Yeah, I've always thought that Melson was alright. I've never had a personal issue with him, but I'm starting to get kind of pissed off now at this point. So yeah, jump over to Paradox and you can continue this very conversation if you feel the need to. I'm sure Paradox will be happy to oblige this nonsense. Musical went up and asked Paddy about MMA Guru. Did he? Oh, you mean if they do like a I think they do that the day before, right? I am going to be in Manchester on Friday, the day before, and I think that Brutally Honest is going to be up there as well, and he talked about maybe going to a few like meet and greets and stuff like that. So maybe I'll tag along. and see what the situation is, I could definitely do that. You played Guru coming in much cooler than you let on. I think it was because I didn't believe it, mate. When I first saw him, I was like, shit, is that? And then I went, nah. But then when I think the shit your pants moment came about 4 or 5 minutes later, where you literally saw me go, I'm a terrible actor. But yeah, I can't recreate the moment, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I literally lost my shit at that point. It was more internally than externally, to be honest. You know. You have become that famous. The emo is joining your chat with all his alts. You made it, Frankie. Yeah, I feel like this is a seminal moment as well. It's like I said, I've got nothing against him, but it's such a cunty thing to do, to come into someone's stream and then just start spamming shit like that. It's not cool, man. But like I said, there have been some moments when he's been absolutely fine. So I'm not dunking on the guy and going, you know, I'm not dunking on the guy too much, but he does seem to have a reputation for being disliked, and maybe that's warranted. I don't know. But like I said, maybe talking about it is just making the situation worse. Derail, sin. But no, Mountain, you've been a very nice addition to things, man. I really appreciate you having you in here. And the some of those quotes were fucking fire as well, so I appreciate that. It's been fun, dudes. So get yourself over to Paradox. Hopefully, we will have a more chill one, because I will be on next time on Wednesday when I go on with Antoine, and we will be doing a full breakdown of UFC 304 and what our thoughts are on it. But yeah, give a raid to Paradox the chat. I'll probably be over there myself in the chat as well at some point. But yeah, much love to everyone, and sorry is really all I can say. What a stinky one this was. Take it easy, dudes. Have a great one, and have a good next few days if I don't get the chance to speak to you in a bit.